Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Josie with Awakened Soul, and we're here for a reading about the person on your mind and the connection you share with each other. Today's reading is going to be one of my all-time favorite styles. We are going to be talking about then versus now. So I am going to get us started by pulling a few archetype cards for how your person perceived you in the past, maybe when the two of you first met, versus how they view you now. What is their perception of you in the present? And then after that, I will dive into the tarot, where we will take a deeper look into both sides of this story, I guess you could say. So I'm super excited. This is a timeless reading, by the way, for all zodiac signs. So I trust it found you exactly when it was meant to. As always, take messages if, when, and how they truly resonate, and leave behind any that do not. So let's get to it. I'm going to pull light and shadow attributes out for both sides here. Let's start with the past. Talk to me about this person's perception of the viewer when they first met or in the past, early on. Okay. Let's start with the light attributes, please. One card for the light attributes and then the shadows. Okay. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. Interesting. I don't know if I can show that on YouTube, so I'm just gonna put that to the side for now. I think I can, but I'm just gonna play it safe. You know, I don't want to get flagged or anything, so okay. And then the shadows. Okay, you got two shadows actually. So your person had an interesting view of you. Maybe they saw more of a shadow side come out from you when the two of you first met versus maybe how they feel now. I'm going to reshuffle or get going again after we talk about the past, okay? So this is when they first met you or when you first started connecting in the early days, okay? So the light attribute that they picked up within you, maintaining a symbolic purity of heart and spirit, okay? So this person could have kind of viewed you as somebody who is very pure at heart, maybe a little bit innocent or naive in a lot of ways. I think that they liked that about you. Let's see what the shadow attributes are, and then we'll connect all the dots here. You got the Midas or miser, hoarding money and emotions, obsessive fear of losing your wealth. Okay, so maybe they were looking at you almost like the Four of Pentacles. You could have been a little bit materialistic from their viewpoint, or it could have been that maybe you were just coming off as somebody who is very protective of their money, maybe a little bit greedy or frugal. And then your other shadow that they observed was allegiance to a destructive ruler or principal, romantic delusions. This is very interesting. Your person really didn't quite know what to do about you. They didn't know how to put their finger on you. I'm trying to figure out how to phrase that sentence, but even like that quote or that phrase won't come out right. So I think you confused your person, because on the one hand, they viewed you as somebody who was very pure-hearted right from the get-go. They felt like you were borderline innocent, maybe a little bit naive. You were pure of heart, pure of spirit, very positive, yet at the same time, maybe a little bit greedy or protective over your money or your finances. And maybe also it could have been that you were in another connection, possibly. Not for everybody. If you weren't, it could be that maybe your person viewed you as somebody who is still hung up on a connection from the past, because for some reason, allegiance to a destructive ruler or principal is making me think of you still being hung up on another person from the past who is maybe a little bit toxic, or like you were still unhealed from another toxic situation, or you still had like mindsets that needed to be healed, okay? So maybe you were still hung up on someone else or something else, and your person picked up on that. They didn't like it. Let's see how they're viewing you now. We have the light we want two light attributes. That's interesting. Let's get a shadow attribute out now. So your person had a more negative view of you in the past versus now. They don't think much negatively about you, okay? It like did a role reversal. So in the past, you confused your person. They couldn't quite put their finger on you. couldn't figure you out. Now they have a better scope of what's going on. They feel like they know you better and they can see your light qualities come out better. So hold on. Okay, so your first light attribute is the networker. Let me show that to you. Enhances unity through the sharing of information, engenders social awareness and empathy. So they still feel like you're very positive, you're empathetic, maybe even empathic, and I think that they believe that your words have healing properties to them. We also have the mediator as a light attribute. Gift for negotiating fairness and strategy in personal and professional life, respect for both sides of an argument. So they feel like you're very fair. You're a very just person. Maybe in your connection, you're really good at finding a neutral playing ground or a neutral ground. Like if you get into conflict with this person, you're not so much of a it's my way or the highway type of person. You're like more of the type that's like, hey, how can we come together to find a solution to this that makes both of us happy? It reminds me of the I can't think about it. The personality type INFP, which is known as the mediator. I'm an INFP, in case anybody else out there would like to share theirs with the collective. But it's very important to you from your person's perspective to find that middle ground. And you're really good at communicating about things. So one thing your person really appreciates about you in the present is your gift of negotiating and finding middle ground and speaking up about things. So you're really fair in your person's eyes. It's reminding me of Justice in tarot. So you could also be a Libra or have Libra placements. And then your shadow attribute is the detective. We have voyeurism and falsifying information. Okay, so your person might feel like you're a little bit nosy or you like meddle in business that isn't yours. I don't know, maybe you're a little bit gossipy or you're the type of person that likes to like spy on people on social media or something like that. Or like, it's almost like that I'm not going to full on say they think you're a liar, okay? But they might think that you know how to twist a story around to favor yourself in a situation sometimes. So on the one hand, they feel like you're very fair and balanced. On the other hand, they feel like maybe sometimes you're a little bit manipulative. So just be aware of that and remember, this is your person's point of view. We're doing a perception reading, so you don't have to find any of this completely accurate for it to be your reading, but you know, take it if it resonates, as if it would make sense coming from your person's point of view, it's still your reading. So let's get a couple cards out on the past again with the tarot, and then we'll chat about the present. Okay. So talk to me about this person's first impression of the viewer, please. Their first thoughts and feelings about the viewer. Okay, hold on. We have the King of Pentacles. Your person thought you were wealthy or something. Because remember, jumping back to the first talking point we had, your person viewed you as somebody who was greedy or stingy or very protective and guarded over your finances. And their first initial impression of you is the King of Pentacles, which is known as like a business owner or somebody who is quite wealthy or materially stable and grounded, okay? So for some reason, your person thought that maybe you were well off, you were wealthy. They picked that up on you. Maybe you were wearing nice clothing or you straight up talked about what you do for a living. And they thought, I don't know, they thought you were wealthy, I guess you could say. And then we have the Moon coming out, very guarded. Your person picked up on you right away that you were very guarded. So I don't know, you know, what caused that. You were very closed off, you were very guarded, and yet at the same time, your person felt like you were restricting yourself. So maybe some of you were in another relationship or another connection, and your person saw right away that you might have been trapped in that situation, or you were choosing to stay in that situation even though you didn't want to, like you were restricting yourself even though you didn't have to. Or maybe again, you were hung up on a past person or a past connection that had already gone away, but you were like still clinging to that or something like that. Like you weren't over another person, or you were trapping yourself in a situation you really didn't have to be in. Okay. Yeah, and that you might have still been grieving the loss of someone else or something else, and you were keeping that inside. So it seemed like your person's first impression of you was somebody who was very guarded. You were very protective over yourself, your energy, your emotions, your finances. You had big time walls up from this person's perception, okay? Now let's get into how they feel about you now. What are their current thoughts and feelings about you? Your person's current thoughts and feelings about you, please. Okay, we have the 10 of Cups. Wow. Their current thoughts and feelings about the viewer, please. I'm having trouble getting the cards to come out. Maybe your person has trouble finding words to express their feelings about you. The 10 of Cups is what comes closest. We have the King of Pentacles again. I don't know what's up with this person, but they seem to be low-key obsessed with your money, okay? Now, I'm not saying that they're a gold digger, okay? But, because I don't necessarily think that's the case, but your person is like, they're very interested in your money or how you make money or something like that, okay? So just be aware of that. I'm not saying they're a gold digger. I'm not saying they're out here trying to get your money or use you for your money, but they are definitely, they pay attention to it. They still think about it. And I think they also might just be impressed by your resourcefulness. Like maybe you're just really good with savings or financial management, okay? So that could be something that they look for in a partner. And honestly, there's nothing wrong with that as long as you're not like using someone or taking advantage of someone. It's totally normal to be impressed by somebody who is good with material play in business, like being financially secure and stable, you know, because if you're looking for a long-term partner, which I see your person is within you, it's a positive quality to have somebody who isn't out there spending money so you're like driving yourself into a hole or you lose your house or can't pay rent. Like it's normal to want a financially stable person, okay? They pay attention to that though, so just be aware of that. The Page of Cups came out as well. We also have the Page of Wands. So in the present, your person is thinking about a new opportunity with you or something new starting in this connection. Maybe the two of you are currently partners or you've elevated your status since first meeting each other. This person is definitely thinking about bringing you some kind of an offering. And I think that it's leading up to this 10 of Cups. So let me get one more card out. Okay. The Page of Swords. We have 3 pages coming out now. So I don't know, maybe this is a new relationship or something new that's just starting or your person is thinking about that. It could also just be that this person is thinking about a new beginning or opening a new chapter and it feels brand new to them. So it could be that since you first met them, you've leveled up with each other a little bit, but you haven't made things official yet. And they're thinking about ways to do that. It's interesting because we have 3 pages and then we have this 10 of Cups. So I feel like your person views you as somebody they could have the 10 of Cups with, but they're not viewing you as somebody they have that with now. So they want to work on getting to that point with you from what I can see. But they see a lot of potential for this connection, most definitely. I will say that much. Whew. Okay, so let's see where things are going to go in the future or what's coming next in this connection. Okay, we have Virgo, tidy up your life. There's Virgo energy coming out here. I don't know if I noted any of the other zodiac signs. The King of Pentacles is Capricorn, and I think that's the only other one we have besides the Moon is Cancer and Pisces. And now we have Virgo. So Capricorn, Cancer, Pisces, Virgo. What's coming next in this connection, please? Opposition, make compromises. That's funny because they view you as the mediator. Like you're already really good at making compromises. So it could be that what's coming next in the future is going to involve the two of you needing to make another compromise so that both of you are happy here in this connection. Things could be changing and you're going to need to come up with a solution that fits both of you, makes both of you happy, okay? I'm like trying to figure out how to be sly. And like, I was like, I'm gonna call myself out right now. Like when I picked that card up, I was like, in my head, I'm like, I'm gonna do such a smooth transition to show the collective this card, and that so backfired. It did not work. So anyway, this is me being real for you guys. Call myself out. Didn't work. I tried. Oh my gosh. Okay, so we have the 7th house, make a commitment. Okay, so maybe that's what you're compromising on, because maybe commitment looks different for both of you, okay? Now, I will say this much. It's important that you're very clear on your boundaries and your non-negotiables going into this, because I see that you're very fair, you're very just, you like to make sure everybody is happy in the situation, but please don't do that at the detriment to yourself. If you have certain boundaries or requirements of what commitment looks like to you, it's important that you uphold those. Like, and I'm not saying this is your person, because I'm not picking up on that, but a good example I could give is, let's say one of you is polyamorous and the other person is rigidly like, nope, I'm only interested in a monogamous commitment. That's not really something you can compromise on, you know what I mean? So don't compromise on something you're not okay with, okay? And like I said, I'm not saying that's what this situation is, but that is a great example, because commitment can look very different to multiple people. Some people are polyamorous and they're a-okay with committing to someone, but also having, you know, a couple other relationships going on simultaneously. Other people are like, I want to get married and I want to have a family and I want it to just be me and one person. And, you know, so it's important that you get really clear on what commitment looks like to you, what you're okay with, what you're not okay with. So when you do come in and make this compromise and, you know, find this middle ground with your person, you're not sacrificing yourself in the process, okay? So I see commitment coming in, bottom line, I see commitment coming in the future of this connection, but there might be something you have to compromise on a little bit here. And to be honest, this is a curveball for me. I don't know, maybe some of you literally just need to clean your house, or there are things you need to purge and get rid of in order for this new chapter to come in. And that's often quite common when we make big changes in our life. Oftentimes other things like mindsets, pattern, beliefs, connections have to fall away in order to kind of step into our new timeline and our new reality. We have to let other things go to make room for the new. So could be that you just need to purge some things and make room. Could even be that it involves moving in together, something like that. You're going to have to purge some things to make space for multiple people to fit in the same house. I don't know. I feel like you'll know though, and it's coming in the near future. So there's your confirmation. Whew, okay. All right. You know what? I'm going to get you a message from universe, and then we are going to close today's reading off. It went a little bit over time today, but I'm a-okay with that. You guys let me know down below what your thoughts are, because I do 3 different styles of readings on my channel. I do my quick car readings that are under 5 minutes usually. Then I do my face-to-face readings like this, which are usually between 7 and 15 minutes, I want to say is fair. And then I do my pop-ups, of course, which are always around like 20 to 30 minutes roughly. So let me know what your favorite style of readings are. I like doing all 3. And I know sometimes the algorithm doesn't like me for doing that, but I do it anyway because I have to honor myself, and I like shaking it up, stirring the pot, making things different. Because if I do the same thing every day, I get bored, and I like enjoying my work. So anyway, these messages are just for you. Take them how they resonate. It doesn't have to have anything to do with this connection. If you're still here, drop an eagle emoji down below to let me know. You got the eagle. You are learning all aspects of spiritual connection and reaching new heights. Okay? And then your affirmation of the day, you can affirm with me by commenting. It is, today I am healthy. Today my mind, my heart, and my soul are one healthy being. Beautiful. I'm going to leave this reading here. I hope you all have an amazing day or night. And until next time, bye for now.